came across a book. I came across a few of Jim Collins' book came through. I do not know anything. I need to learn. That's where I become teachable.
So you're now able, presumably because of this, to actually spend more time doing the things outside of work that give you joy.
Yeah, because one of the learning I got from some of the entrepreneurs around the world is that the bigger you are, the more time you should have. And a lot of people doesn't comprehend that. No, the bigger you are, you should be more busy. No, a good entrepreneur, I mean, entrepreneurs is a lot of them, but you look at the good entrepreneur has more time for themselves and less time for the business. The bigger they are. So we need to be like that. So it's always my aim is to do that, so that technically I'm only working in this office officially 2 days a week. And I got time for my family, I got time, I can go away for 6 weeks. And of course there's another story about how I test the business whether it's ready. And I always test the business whether is the business ready, capable. So the other journey was that I'll quickly share with you is that 6 years, the second year, I told the team I'm going away to Europe for 6 weeks. That was my first test of the team, whether the team is ready. I said, I'll go. So I still got phone call first week, I still got phone call. 6 weeks, come back, long story short, the business dropped by, I think it was 10 or 15%. Okay, and I still got a few phone calls I need to deal with. And I didn't blame the team. I said, it's my fault. Again, going back to humility, it's always starts with owners. Okay, I didn't build this team well enough. I need to do some more work.
And what was it you did with the team? Because you talked about when we met the last time that
you
took specific actions.
Yeah, we modified the team. We were like, okay, why do we drop 10-15%? It's because I'm still in the business.
Yeah.
I'm still the core owner. People still calls me. The client still needs me. They doesn't trust my people. So I'm going to change that. So I give myself another 2 years to change that. Because iquest is never Anderson Chong. iquest is iquest. iquest stands standalone on its own, behaving on its own. So at 2 years I built that, and Pietro and I said, guys, you guys gotta deal with the clients now. I'm gonna hang out. The client initially takes a while, but yeah. So 2 years later, the proc treatment I was away for 7 weeks. First, I got no phone call, I got no email. I was like, my phone is broken. So it came back, the business gone up by 25%. Then that was the benchmark. I said, this team is ready. When this team is ready, all I do is just advising them and do some tweaking. As a mentoring, they come to me all the problem. I just mentor. I said, this is what I'll do in this situation. That's what today's meeting is also thinking. I'll just mentor them. Then this thing is ready. But I cannot be in the business, because if I'm in the business, trying to create work for myself, I'm going to mess up. I need to find something to do. Because a lot of businesses would like to meddle around with things. It's a winning formula. Live in that, tweak it. They come to you for advice. Be a consultant to them. It's like kids. They know how to run. So what am I going to do? Cool. I'm now doing a lot of branding. I'm the brand ambassador. Networking group, wherever I show, I say, hey, this iquest, because they don't have time to do the branding. I'm the brander. So I don't need to be in the office. I don't need to deal with the day-to-day stuff. They can deal with that. I become the brand, and I look up for opportunity for iquest and build the brand up so that I can feed them the clients. So I'm detached from the day-to-day. So that's my strength now. That's my new role. So I did it for the last 3 years. That's why I have a lot of time. Because I'm not in the business. I'm not in the business. This is really on the business now.
So how, in terms of the team then, how hard was it for you as the business owner? Because I've worked with business owners in the past, and it's quite hard when it's your baby. How hard was it for you to disengage from the day-to-day and take on that brand ambassador role?
The important thing is, for me, is that someone said you need to make in EO, there's an underlying, we all want to make ourselves out of the job. That's the ultimate goal, make yourself out of a job. So it's always my aim to make myself a job. When you make yourself a job, the business is no longer your baby.
Mm-hmm.
You no longer micromanage.
Mm.
Because it's our job. And then someone can run it better than you. Alright? And that's very important. And also, when I built the team, going back a little bit, was the fact that I know my weakness. That's very important. I need to know what's my weakness.
Mm-hmm.
So I hire people to protect my weakness.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a detail guy. You give me a 1-pager, I'll read it, okay, fine. You give me a 4-pager, so I'm like, guys, summarize it.
Yeah.
Tell me the gist of it. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
So I need to hire someone with detail to go through and say, give me and only want a summary. He doesn't want to know 6 pages.
Yeah, yeah.
They give me the summary, give me the gist, he's happy with it. So I need to do that. So when you hire a team, you need to hire a team that they can cover everybody's weakness. Then this team will work. If everybody has the same strength, it's not going to work.
Mm.
Then the weaknesses are exposed in the business. So, and one thing that I learned about a team is that I did that a few years ago. In the team, there's a weakest link. There's always a weakest link in the business. Okay, in any teamwork.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do with the weakest link? Are you going to fire the weakest link, or are you going to keep the weakest link?
Depends, doesn't it? I think if you fire them, that can send a signal to the rest of the team. So, and it depends what role they're doing as well. So I would say it depends.
Okay. In any group, that's my experience with this team. I do a lot of experience with the team. I do that. If you find a weakest link, one weakest link, you need to protect the weakest link. That's why I told the team. So we said we have a guy here, the weakest link. The guy said, look, we can fire, it's no good, he's created a lot of work for us.
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay guys, he's the weakest link, right? You guys are very good. And I mean that. I said, if you guys want to fire him, one of you here will be the weakest link.
Yeah.
There's always one.
Yeah.
Okay? You want to knock yourself out? Fire him, go ahead.
Because then you're going to have to fire, eventually everybody's going to get fired, aren't they? Yes.
No, one of you will be the weakest link because your weakness will start to pop out.
Yeah.
And they didn't believe me, so they fired the guy. And then next minute, 6 months later, we have this meeting. Oh, this is so. I said, guys, I told you guys already. You fire the weakest link, someone will pop out.
Mm.
Because that's what a group is.
Yeah.
You always find the weakest. There's always the weakest link. You're going to bully the weakest link. I said, rather than you fire him now, you're going to protect his weakest part of it, so that it doesn't shine in front of the client, in front of the group. Because if not, one of you will be the weakest link. I do not know who, but you will happen.
Mm.
So now they protect the weakest link.
So did they learn from that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's interesting then. So you let them take the decision to fire the weakest link, and treated that as a learning experience.
Yeah, and how I run a business is this. I run a business without having kids. You let your child fail, knock a wall, whatever, knock their head, whatever. You need to let them do that.
Yeah.
If you don't let them do it, you're always protected, then they're always living the cocoon.
Yeah.
So these guys had lost me a lot of money. To me, they lost me. There was a project that lost quite a fair bit of money. And they were really like, shit, and was going to fire me, and they're going to have a go at me. They came to you, I said, look guys, I told you guys this project is not going to work. You guys want to go ahead with it? It's okay. Alright, I said, now we lost this amount of money. I give you 6 months to make it back.
Yeah.
However, because it was a product problem, I said, I will give you another supplier of ours who has a better product than this. I want you to talk to him and get it sorted. Within 3 months, they make back the money. Within 6 months, they double my money back.
Brilliant.
But you need to let people fall.
Yeah.
You just let them fall and grab them. I said, don't do it again.
Yeah.
It's better than don't do it. It's gonna fail. Then there's no empowerment.
Yeah.
Then you are thinking for your staff. Then what's the point?
And then you'll always be in the job.
Yeah. Then you're always in the job, and you always have to tell them what to do. Because after a while, you take telling people what to do. People refuse to think for themselves anymore. They're like, you're gonna tell me anyway. What's the point of me coming up with good suggestion? Because you're gonna knock it back.
Yeah.
Like today, we're just having a meeting about a new product, They're telling me how they're going to sell this product, and I say, all right, I'm putting on the business hat. This is what I'll think for our client. I'll leave it to you guys to price it out and sell the product. I didn't say you can't. This price is too low. This price is too high. Whatever. You guys got to change it. I don't care. I don't. I let them make mistakes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for me, that is the best thing to do for a team. Prepare to lose some money. Prepare to let them learn, and prepare to let them so that they can move forward.
Yeah. So it's interesting because in a lot of organisations there is a lot of micromanagement, and it's particularly prevalent in Perth, I have to say. So what would be your advice for those managers who maybe are veering more towards that micromanagement stance? What would be the advice to them?
The advice to them is to see the world, see their business or see what they're doing bigger than themselves. They need to. The difference is because, you and myself, we come from a bigger city. We have a small city mindset. This is Perth, this is what we do, this is what we do. And we don't learn from other people. I came through a lot of business people. They're just, this is Perth, I'm happy. It's like, why can't you charge more? Oh, this is Perth. And because they wasn't taught well by other people, by their predecessor, whatever, they do not know anything better. When you come from, that's why I told my son, when you finish, or when you just work in London, work in any big city for 5 years before you come back.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you need to see the world is bigger, the world is so much more opportunity. You look at the world very differently. And you find that Perth is just a very small, very, very small town. And you need to get out of that. A lot of business owners are there because they don't see the world as a big playground. I see the world as a big playground. I can set up any business anywhere with a little bit more experience and knowledge and skills. Yeah. It's not a problem. Yeah. See? So that's what a lot of businessmen need to do. That they need to really see. Let's not see the world. Let's see Australia as a very big playground. Yeah. There's a lot of opportunity. Now, nothing is too hard. Unfortunately, we're just too comfortable.
Yes. And that's interesting, isn't it? Because listening to your story, the time when you took the biggest action was when you were the most uncomfortable. Yeah. And that was the biggest growth opportunity. Yeah. And
there's nothing, I always say, in the Aussie slang, there's something called have a go. I always say, have a go. And I told my team, it's okay, have a go. You make a mistake, it's all right. But why don't we have a go? Why don't we have a try? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. So, to me, failure is a good thing. And failure is a way for you to learn. If you don't fail, you're never going to learn. And you make better life decisions, and you get more failures than success.
So I'm also hearing as well, it's not just about failure, it's about having that ability to think of different strategies. So when you were at your lowest low, you already had your plan B, and then potentially you would have had a plan C. So that's the other thing that I think when you're leading an organisation, it's that scenario planning, isn't it? Yeah. It's not just thinking about today, it's thinking about what might happen if.
Correct. And for us, we really have a lot of plans in this business that I share with the team. The important thing is that a lot of owners, the important for me, I'm not talking about, for me is that I share my vision, I share my plans with my people. So that, to me, is the fact that if I cannot now buy a bus, this business can continue to operate without me. These people will not be out of their job. Yeah. So that's why I said earlier, iquest is not Anderson Chong. Anderson Chong is not iquest. iquest will stand on its own, live on its own, bring on its own, way past me. Because eventually, and the other thing which I shared with the team at 6 years ago was that, guys, I'm not giving this business to my son. And I told my son, I'm not going to give it to you. You guys work for this business, you guys earn the rights. I'll invite you guys to be part of partners, own some of the equity. you guys can take this business to the next level after me. And I'll become smaller in the business. You guys will become bigger in the business in terms of your role. You guys are more prominent. I'm going to be smaller. So it's making yourself smaller so that the rice can shine. Your team can shine. So Anderson Chong is not the brand.
Yeah.
When people make themselves the brand, that's where they die.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola never break themselves who's the CEO, who's the what. Apple doesn't make themselves who's the CEO. It's because people live by the brand, not by who's running it. And that's always my way of running business. iquest is not Anderson Chong. Anderson Chong will go at some point. You know, but how can I build this business legacy, like Jim Collin said, for many years, with many leaders coming up. So we are building a third generation of leaders today. So there's another part is that I'm 48. All my people around, all the management in the 48 years old will become 50 plus, 60. The newer generation will come out, the 30 plus will become 40 plus. I don't want, when I'm 60, go and talk to the 40 plus because the wavelength is different. The communication is, the millennials are talking different things. I need to build like peer show on the same age so that they can talk to the people in the same wavelength. The third generation will talk to people in their 20, 30 today. So succession plan of a business must have generation of people coming up, talking at different generations of people. That's business. So
do you therefore have, for each individual, do they have like a personal development plan?
They, at the moment, I basically shared I'm still, teaching them how I think. I always say the first generation is always built, the second generation is whole. The third generation will need to be retrained differently because some of my thinking might be different from them. So Pietro and Matt at the moment has been with me for almost 10 years. So they kind of understood what I'm trying, and also I given them the traction, the framework, they can support it, and there will be a certain time in the next 2 to 3 years, they will need to learn a new management style, which I am, because I'm not in the business, I'm looking for the new management style and what's out there. So I'm always on the lookout on this side to say, all right guys, this is the new management I want you guys to learn. Then I'll send them for training. Because what I'm worried today is, it's interesting you touch on, because I was touching on to that. I'm worried that today if I send them for a training that I'm not comfortable with, they got influenced by a bad decision or bad management style and bring the cancer into the office.
Into the organization, yeah.
So it's very important. We need to find who are the best people. Why do I like the management style? How is it relevant to the world and everything else? So I always believe that I want to learn from the best. Who are the best in town? I'll spend the money out of Sydney. I'll spend 10,000, 20,000 in the US. I'll learn from the best because I know what I can bring back, and then we're always ahead of the curve. So a lot of my learning comes from the US. The Americans are the best business people in the world. Okay. Still, yeah. Okay. So if you attend a US conference, you look at Simon sitting and everything. Why everybody is so wow about him? It's because the Americans are very good at selling themselves.
They are, yeah.
Okay, the Aussie are not very good at selling themselves.
No, it's frowned on, in fact, isn't it? Yeah.
You need to do that. If you want to do a business, and the Americans are very, very cutthroat. You're either in or you're out. And I'm sure you do a lot of Australian business. Oh, it's okay, he's okay, but we want to keep him. Why? He's a C player, D player, why keep? Oh, it's because of this. We look at loyalty, whereas Americans say you're in or you're out. So I did a lot. This business model is very American. You're in or you're out. I'm not going to carry you. And I told the team, and the team understand. If I run, Pietro and Matt, you need a job. Nobody's walking. The guy who walks gets dropped off. We throw it overboard. So it's always a progressive business.
So you're very clear though on your expectations up front. You don't sort of mince your words, and everybody knows what's expected of them, and you give them a fair opportunity to basically run their own destiny as well.
Yeah, they all run it. And I have not done firing for the last 4 years. They kick the people out because you're not part of this team. You don't put your finger up, we'll keep you up. And they come to me, I was like, yeah, okay, don't worry, because they know the rule again. So because we train that way, we instill a lot in them. And they can tell, yesterday there was an argument, so why are you leaving at 5 o'clock when you got something to do? Finish a damn job before you switch off. I don't have to do that. People don't have to do that. The team themselves tell each other off. That's the A team.
So there's quite a collective responsibility as well. Yeah.
And to do that, you need the A team. To do that, you need to set your foundation right. You need to write the people in right. And the people are passionate. So I don't run a company that everybody's fearful of me, or everybody wait for me to shout. They will sort themselves out.
They self-manage. Yeah.
That comes back to yourself, yes.
Yeah.
They need to do.
Yeah.
And they will tell me who to fire. So okay, you guys want to do it? Don't call me.
And then you have to live with the consequences.
Yeah, and they fire the right people, it's okay. And unless I see something different, I say, look, you sure? No, it's okay. So that's how this team is being built. This team is very American way of doing things, unfortunately.
It is, and I think you've also brought your own flavour to it as well.
Yeah,
so because what you've done is you've gone out and curated different approaches.
Correct.
So it's not one pure thing here.
Yeah,
so you talk about traction, but it's not one pure traction, is it?
Yeah.
It's your take based on your experiences and the context in which the team is growing.
Correct. And I took a lot of that, and I took a lot of the good stuff from different learning, and I put them together. So because I'm from an Asian background. Asian background, a lot of deals is done on a handshake. We are done. Handshake, handshake is gold. Yeah. That's the honor. So, okay. The beauty in Australia is that handshake followed by a contract is secure.
Yeah.
So and a lot of where I use a lot of my Asian culture way of doing business is that I catch up with my client every quarter. Every client, I'll buy them lunch, I'll buy them dinner. I don't care how much it costs me. We'll just buy. Just have lunch. Like yesterday we had lunch. We can't. And that's what sometimes I do put on a bill with, but that's how I build relationship. Yeah. And I hear news and there's a lot of things that we do in this office that there's a little bit, and we profile clients. We do.
Because there was talk about relationship as well, that's really important to you. Yeah. The business follows the relationship part, but you have to create that trust and that connection with the clients, and then the business will come.
There's always a part, we call it a 3 touch point in the business. Me touching and the decision maker or the owner of the business. So he and I will have a lunch. We talk nothing but this. We're not talking about this. We talk how's his life, how's he doing, what his hobby, what we do, and things like that. And then towards the end, I'll say, look, have our guys step up? Tell me. Have we not met the expectation? Tell me. And then he will say, no, it's good. Or I say, I need to improve. When I get it, and then the second touch point, Pietro and Matt will meet the client every quarter, the context over there. Yeah. And then the day-to-day stuff, the engineer. So it's 3 touch points. And to clients that, when do you ever see? I try not to run iquest like an insurance company. You got an accident, you call me. If not, I don't see you. I do it remotely. Yeah, that's bullshit. So touch points are important. Touch point build relationship and trust.
Yeah.